If you're sick of me, we're going to let Reed do the next introduction. So Reed Whiting's back up. I'm proud to induct Quentin into the Hall of Fame. I had the pleasure of being a teammate of Quentin's for several years during high school in both basketball and football. Quentin also played baseball very capably. Quentin's one of the most well-natured affable guys around. But believe me, when the whistle blew, you better get your seatbelt on, because it was coming down the line and it was going to hit you hard, whether in basketball or in football. Quentin was a versatile three-sport star, graduating from LeRoy in 1972. And as I said earlier, he played all the three major sports at high levels. In football, he anchored the offensive lines in the falls of 70 and 71 as its starting center. The 1970 team finished with a record of 5-2-1. The 1971 team was a very good team. They finished 7-1, losing only to Dansville at Dansville 12-8. They called it the Death Valley Field in Dansville. Dansville featured two players who would go on to join Quentin at the University of Rochester, playing for the Yellow Jackets starting in September 1972. Incidentally, but very importantly, the 71 LeRoy team beat Caledonia 32-0 and had a combined scoring margin of 221 points to 38 for the opponents. It was a rock'em sock'em team. Quentin played center very capably, guiding a physical line that sprang Wayne Alexander, Mark Ogie, and Brian Congrazio for many long runs. On defense, he anchored a physical unit that shut out 4 teams, including the previously undefeated Geneseo team, which we played under the lights before thousands of fans in Geneseo. I think that's probably the last flicker of glory for Geneseo football. We extinguished that flame. After the 72 season, Quentin's prowess was noted throughout Section 5 as he was named All-Greater Rochester at center. He was only LeRoy's second winner of that award, the first LeRoy player being none other than Dave Kibler, who's also up here today. Quentin was a rugged power forward in basketball and captain in his senior year. I was a junior on that team, saw limited playing time, but what a great team it was. It reminded me of some great pro combinations. We had 3 lefties in the front court. Doug Kibler at center, Quentin and Danny Hackett at forward. All 3 left-handers. Had to be rather confusing for defenders. The team went 15-2 before losing to a fine Minders team in the sectional semifinals at the Rochester War Memorial. Between him and Doug Kibler, Dave's younger brother, my classmate, opponents didn't stand a chance rebounding. That year, LeRoy also won the Livingston County Class A championship. At the University of Rochester, Quentin was a 4-year starter, at center for 2 years, and at guard in his final 2 years. And you can confirm this with Jim Rogers if you haven't heard of this before, but during Quentin's years, college football changed dramatically. The virtually unlimited scholarships going to the big power schools were limited by the NCAA, so that a lot of fine talent and a lot of size and speed trickled down to D3, and Quentin played during those years, so it was quite an accomplishment to start for 4 years for the University of Rochester. At guard, his final 2 years at the U of R, his speed and athleticism was very evident, particularly on the many plays where he pulled, where his agility and speed got the best of many cornerbacks and linebackers. He pancaked many opponents. I was there to see it at Favre Stadium on many Saturdays. He was also named captain of the U of R football team his senior year, an honor which Pat Stark did not bestow lightly. Quentin was endowed with great natural strength and endurance, both of which served him well in all of his athletic pursuits. The beginning of each college football season, famed coach Pat Stark would conduct a mile run for the whole team, and he often marveled at how Quentin would beat all those wide receivers, quarterbacks, cornerbacks, running backs. He just had natural athletic ability, natural stamina, natural athleticism all around. Quentin is married to his high school sweetheart, Joan Ganji. They have two daughters, Emily and Justine. Emily, I have to note, followed her dad at the U of R and played for the U of R's women's basketball team. Emily and Justine have blessed Quentin and Joan with 6 grandchildren. Quentin and his family have expanded their father's excavating business into a multi-state, multifaceted business that features trucking, hauling, excavation, and I know Quentin's out of state, frequently on business, so it's quite a credit to him and all of his family for the job they've done with his business. It's my honor to present Quentin Call.
Sounds pretty wild there. Thank you. Unfortunately, my eyeballs stay in shape here, so thank you to the LeRoy Hall of Fame Committee for selecting me and the other inductees here. The decision by Jim Rogers, Bob Lau, Reed Whiting, Mike Welch, Ron Rossi, and the rest of the committee to start this event is very, very nice. How fortunate are we to have attended school in LeRoy and had the opportunity to participate in several, mostly team sports. Personally, I was lucky enough to have been in high school with a very, very talented group of athletes and coaches. They were all team sports, and when you're a lineman, you're just glad to be along with the rest of the gang. I really mean that. These coaches included Tuffy Longany, Bob Sullivan, Ray J, Bill Tripp, Bill Brooks, and in particular, Don Santini. Thanks to them for preparing us not only for the games, but for life in general. The transition to football at the U of R was seamless, as Coach Santini had instilled in me a belief that preparation would pay off. My college coaches, Pat Stark and John Battone, both made note of that, how well I was prepared because of Coach Santini. The tradition and history of the athletics is woven into this LeRoy community, and I see it all the time. You may not go to every game, or you may not be there all the time, but you read about it, you talk about it, you hear about it, you listen to everybody, and it's entangled, and it's kind of neat. It's just, small town living is wonderful, I'll tell you. Even though I live in that other little burg out there in Stafford. Conversations and debates at Rossi's Barbershop and all the local diners have gone on for decades. People like coaches Brian Moran and Andrew Palladino, author and coach Jimmy Bonaquisti, support by others like Bilko and Don Pangrazio and Ed Henry and Nate Ryder, are all part of this fiber of this community and this athletic endeavors. To all of them, my parents, Dwayne and Janice Call, who never missed a game ever, my wife Joan, and our children Emily and Justine, who both played 3 sports at LeRoy, and my grandchildren, I say thank you.